I thought that I was going to fix this little Hewlett-Packard memory. So, and I'm not calling them back. You understand? They get paid to give a service, and I don't have to beg to anybody. But I only have 48.3. So what, 2 more videos? It doesn't matter. You understand? I beg to no one. All right? The Bobby Lovett book. I have put this on Twitter since June the 6th of 2020. And we didn't have a problem. But something is in the air since January of 2026. And I don't care. But I'm just telling you, it was all on Twitter. Page 145. The Civil Rights Movement chapter. For something to be successful, to work like a well-run, oiled machine, there had to be tests. In late November of 1959, under the guidance of Lawson, that's Highlander School, and with the support of Smith's NCLC students, conducted the first test demonstration on selected restaurants. But in the case of, wait 1 second, it is a movie star, I want to say Gardner. No, that's the Health and Education and Welfare. It's the guy from, well, versus Louisiana. You can be in a restaurant as minorities and eat because you're not bothering anybody. What was his name? You know, Murphy's Romance. Not Mannix. He had a talk show, a cop show too. It may come to me. It may not. The owners refused to service the integrated group, which obeyed instructions, kindly said thank you, and returned to the church, where Lawson and Smith debriefed them. Smith, who was a keen negotiator, tried private negotiation with shop owners, but without success. The students assumed the activist name, Nashville Student Movement. However, the test demonstrations broke off for the winter college break. Next paragraph, February the 10th, 1960, Reverend Douglas Moore, who supported the Greensboro students and knew Nashville had well-trained students, an experienced trainer. Look, you can do whatever you want, but number one, it was the national parks that put the social noise. You need a permit. It was the Jenkins book that said the marchers gave the police their route. Stokely Carmichael or H. Rap Brown, I don't think they gave the police a route. We're going to march this way. What was his name? Oh my God. Well, I'll Google it. Isn't that horrible? It's on Tungway. Sally Field and James Gardner. I just think it's another Gardner, and they tricked me. Health, Education, and Welfare. Gardner. Too many Gardners. I worked with a Gardner. Oh, he wanted to be a SEAL. You have to start young. Then somewhere along the way, he got a bad back, and he travels with a board in his car, just in case he sleeps at a friend's house. Just saying. Page 153, there were trust issues between the kids that went with Lawson. You know, the kids. Oh, let me put it to you this way. I complained to a friend that I had bad fish at Denny's. It's Denny's. Read into it what you want. I know I long for the day of that flat Woolworth soda from the fountain. I know it's the principle. But the lawyers' committee of John F. Kennedy stated, because the lawyers stated, my area's integrated, and we did it way before. All right? You need to hone in on the troublemakers, not the, I integrated the movie theaters too. Page 153. Still within the civil rights movement. You know, the one that opens up with Powell, Morrow, and Musgrave marched against local Jim Crow eateries in February 1943 in Washington, D.C. Don't you think the organizer of the entire kit and caboodle, Marion Barry? And let's look at what happened to Marion Barry. And I only came back to Washington for a wedding. And there it is. At least he was at a Georgetown seafood. I think that started in the Eastern Shore. And they said, Crisfields. Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, let me make some buku bucks with these people who think they have money. Ella Baker, along with Septima P. Clark of the Highlander Folk School in Monteagle, Tennessee, sponsored a black college retreat at Shaw University, 15th through the 17th, April 1960. I think each year that they march onto NBC, some of them, you know, it's not frozen in time. These books are published. Really, it only gets worse for your side. What was this, 2015? You are never going, oh, don't. Not responding is not going to solve your problem of Ben Holman at College Park. I know that Gwen Eiffel had an office. I don't know why they don't mention that. She was great. Rest in peace, Gwen. Which aimed to bring focus and discipline to the students' movement. Shaw University retreat, the meeting resulted in the formation of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC. I know, but maybe he should have responded, John Lewis. That was not. She is going to be Secretary of State. This is not what was that? You are asking Hillary. Yep. Glenn Smiley. Oh, come on now. I'm being too rough or raw? Did Tipper Gore rate Eddie Murphy's comedy routines? Did she stick a sticker on that? You could have used the vulgarity of California. Don't. You're wasting my time as you did in 95. Spread your wings and fly to daddy. Spread your wings and fly to daddy. Spread your wings and fly to daddy. Fly to daddy. Go, go, go. Tell them everything you know. You don't bother me. What? No, thank you. Which aimed to bring focus and discipline to the students' movement. I'm sorry. Did Marion Barry show discipline? And then, at the beginning, really now. We understand Marion Barry, and they voted him for city council. And from New York, I called his offices 6 times. But you know what? If I were him, I wouldn't have listened to me either. You don't know enough about but that was labor. 204 Michigan Avenue is D.C. And the Maryland if you are related to the comedian Gregory, I had options. You could have said, you can complain now to Kentucky, or you can complain now to California, because Kentucky used the California lawyers. No, but instead, once again, you are all talking about something, not resolving my issue. I lost 3 profit share points. And furthermore, now I've learned, it appears that this initial Title X Community Relations Services, by 1970, it branched to businesses. You can complain against a business. So when I said to to College Park University College, even if I changed my major to business and used Kinko's Graphics Corporation, and when I said to Mr. Bailey, is this $5,000 lawsuit invoice a little bit of money, Mr. Bailey? I am the salesperson. You've done nothing to me. Because I'm going to say what you've done, and I'm not cut off yet, because it's not 48.3, whatever. Who cares? Glenn Smiley, I love the Smiley Travis show. I don't know what happened to him. He got nabbed too. Oh, I love that on PBS. Travis Smiley. Glenn Smiley and James Lawson of 4 traveled to Raleigh to help with the meeting. The students did not want to be a part of SCLC, POR, the NAACP, or 4. So, did you set up anything in New York to anybody? Nothing. You had nothing for education. Don't. I pay taxes in Tarrytown, New York, and I paid city taxes when I was employed in Greenwich Village. That's they said I had to look at, Dale, you look at me with eyes of disgust. I see, I've got some good ones. They're funny. That's not disgust, that's like, you check is. Adult organization and did not trust the SCLC leadership. They did not trust the reverends, including King. You sent me to that campus for what reason? University College. I'm 60 and don't you ever. I survived the social noise of Oprah age 2. 2-year-olds, oh, I know. Because the adults, this was the House and Ethics Commission for the entire state. Oh, I filed against everybody. Every lawyer. John K. Anderson. Shirley Bigley. They didn't even open the box. But this guy, I'm sure he was watering a plastic. Don't even say anything. Don't tell him. He knows what he's doing. Don't pay attention. Another word I had to look up when I got home. There is no phone dictionary. I do not want to usurp my child's authority. So now you have a California law from the 1920s that says, and they won, if it was not your profession, you've done nothing wrong. You knew not what to do. But that one, if you moved everything into your children just in case you got caught. Now we're doing Kerner, where they published an insurance book. The extent of what you're doing, you're not even funny now. You're not. Because Jeffrey Brackett's book, The Negro in Maryland, should have never been on the shelf like that. It's not that edition. I make $11 an hour. That's my time. The government of 1940, 50, 60 is not helping anybody out. It was separate but equal. Your complaint should have been with those newly created budget offices from the 20s. That is not even eyes of disgust. That means don't open up your mouth. They trusted Lawson. All right, so obviously it's not going to be the sweet fly paper of life. Get that? Roy DeCarver and Langston Hughes. I said, wow, that's really a storefront church. Owned, and look, you don't need beauty as long as they don't juice up the frequency. You don't need beauty to learn. But who got paid for those Head Start ugly buildings in Chicago? Kerner has a section for ministerial properties. They trusted Lawson. He wrote the SNCC doctrine, and the SCLC, King Jr. and others pledged to funnel funds to SNCC. SNCC located the headquarters in Atlanta, but centered the activist base in Nashville. Now, they had shared building with not Y, WY. They shared the building with a radio station. Go to Google Culture. Marion Barry, there is no Rainbow Coalition, and I will tie it in with Healy. Sorry, there's a nice little rainbow in the back. You made your money and you put it up your nose. What respect is there? There. There isn't. A graduate student at Fisk became the president, and Diane Nash became director of activist programs. Betty Hardiman is mine. You are not going to call my family stupid. Did we not ask questions? Oh, why? Oh, thank you, Mrs. Spaulding, Dr. Seuss in-law. In her book, when she decides she's going to move to Tarrytown, she spoke with the school board first. I think class president and school historian. I don't think if I went on my own for anything, trust me. And they wouldn't have been Melvin Sims or Tim Green. They would have been somebody else. Marion Barry, a student at Fisk. Nobody called him a country bumpkin. Now that's interesting because he came from Fisk to D.C. Eleanor Norton Holmes, who Lindsay is both with the Women's Conference that legitimized, including that anthropologist, maybe even it was Horny, the other, it doesn't matter. You're Eleanor Norton Holmes. It's one sentence, lady. Housekeeping was not initially Social Security funded. You need to save your money. And you needed to clarify that then. Now, the New York Public Library, oh, you're so lucky. This book was lost. It's $3 paperback. It's archived. You could have said where the 17,000 pages are. She is from D.C. She will go back to D.C. after being in New York. Good for you. Lindsay, still mayor, is below He is on the committee for Kerner. Kerner is with Rockefeller. Why? It is in the JFK archive. And there's one that was in Truman, and I don't care. An urban city investigation. Rockefeller Nelson with Kerner. Kerner cannot be so stupid. That is model cities before model cities. I don't care. Kerner went to prison. You've wasted my time, and I'm going to do this in under 30. Diane Nash became director of activist programs. Other SNCC leaders represented South Carolina State, Johnson C. Smith, Spelman, Howard, Kentucky State, American Baptist. Howard Zinn became an advisor to SNCC, which convened one of its first conferences at Morehouse. Highlander Folk School trained, not Horton of Days of Our Lives. Enough already. It's Miles Horton, the creator of the Highlander Folk School. I'm not going to go into it. Highlander promoted anti-poverty programs in Appalachia, trained pro-union community activists under Miles Horton. White, progressive, educated in America and Europe, Highlander had included racially integrated meetings and workshops since 1932. There is no need to call people communists. Why? The United States of America does business with a lot of people to promote capitalism and exchange. There are rich people in Russia, people. They are not communists. They are super rich. The Matisses are not in St. Petersburg, Florida. They are in St. Petersburg, Russia. You're Tom Hanks when he uses the Federal Express boxes to get off an island, and he's in Russia with his time clock. Get over it. There was glasnost. I don't think these people made billions with glasnost. And where are these kids making these billions for their music? Then there's no problem in the world. 2 billionaires cannot go to the bank. One more time. Fraser, F-R-A-S-E-R, Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. You cannot go to the wherever. You're not getting your billion. And with all these billionaires, is there enough? Did those Africans from the English where there are movies? Oh, I'm sorry. Why did I should have downloaded everything from Ashford? I didn't. And the computer died blue screen of death. And it was. Now, I gave you the best of California. I gave you the best of Los Angeles. As I said, African American Western migration, South Central in the census, Alabama, that presentation was ready to go. Your Mr. Habrowski orchestrated something, don't even. My father is now on that campus. He is picking up ping pong games in the student union. I don't even know where it is. And I still will not until that's a long time coming. It appears he played ping pong in Westchester County. And he was pretty good. Not great, but don't. My laughter, your South Central, Alabama, Louisiana, Huey Newton named after Huey Long. Violence, television was raided. I hope, how many millions of dollars? You looked at TV and did what? You had no idea. The computer can do it for you. It couldn't then because Gore just invented it? articles for VP Gore should say Gore Senior, Junior. That's going to be as complicated as M small c, big C. And then when you're looking for it, oh, good for you. You don't bother me. I'm done. Now, Gerbner and violence and this rating of television, and then your Gore with your Moonves of CVS. And that thing that I can't remember, you're lucky. It was big, and Yale has the archives. Which is not what diversity means, or integration. Integration was the integration of the utilities, including the ones in Washington, D.C. The conversation should have been, why did they use that word and then use it for our problem? Your beard, he doesn't say anything about that. And I don't want to hear, we've talked in code. I've heard more about the Indian code raiders than any of your code, and I don't want to know. Because your Gerbner made a lot of money. Your little television rating is going to be a big problem for everybody. Because my friend, Uncle Bill from Family Affair, Brian Keith, he's some kind of an engineer, bigger than Herbert Hoover. Favorite episode, oh, when they get stuck in that cabin and they have half an apple and some chocolate. You know, when you're walking down Fifth Avenue, that's the Mr. French building in gold. Now, I'm leaving Gerbner, I'm leaving your rating of television, I'm leaving whatever Gore did. That's all the Clinton administration, your problem, not mine. He, as a governor, did more with his education prosperities for the future. Now, that is the bridge of the General Motors to get the workers from the train to the factory. That's his archive. Now, this one's a good one. A-Rod. A-Rod goes on The View. You know, steroid A-Rod. My daughters said I should be honest in this book. Honest. He says his mother worked for General Motors. Where? He still, only recently, I was born in New York. You were born in New York, and there's one article on the internet that says it. They did not introduce A-Rod to Yankee Stadium. Welcome home. I want to know when they digitize these papers of Simon and Garfunkel High School. Did it say we're playing in Central Park? Now I segue to the point at 28:25. This Oprah, with her friendship with, what's his name? Paul McCartney. The two of them together, one writing songs of peace for a fucking Queen Elizabeth and company that has nothing to do with this country. You're as bad as Elton John, Border Song 72. Those songs do not pertain to this country. This country, the United States of America, saved your asses from what you did every place else. As far as I'm concerned, any problems that there could be are now. You seem to be making not even... You better be paying those people in Vietnam for your jerseys. You better have put schools that are pro-American. You are all American, pro-American 2026. You have prospered, billionaires. I am not saying because they were all in on it together. The Gilded Age, really, they let you write about them and I'm squashed. Now, Oprah and Paul are besties. Did you know that? No. Oh, it comes to my Facebook. I don't care. Really, I don't. Why should I? Is he stupid? It's David Chapman, of which I still, but don't, because, oh, you're Herrmeister Keola that day. There was no Fräulein, lump it or leave it. He is in tears because he is gone, John Lennon. You've turned it into a tourist attraction at Central Park, Olmsted. I have requested from, I said, oh, okay, they weren't open. They weren't open. I'll never get a response to that. Olmsted, en route to my grandparents. Is it the Central Park Olmsted? The redevelopment of Blight relative cost Baltimore, Olmsted Brothers, Massachusetts to Mr. McKeldin? Every single garden-style housing complex, although I don't remember Lafayette Courts, that's it. Latrobe Homes with an amortization of 55 plus years, so in 1995 it was a relative document, of which Professor Bloom said, this'll get you nowhere. I think those tuberculosis maps, because they, oh, don't. Against my will, you're testing me for TB every time. Where am I going to catch TB from the side of my house? It's my sidewalk. It's commercially zoned for noise. It is. John Lennon had, oh, don't. I said, my God, why did he marry Barbara Walters' niece? He loved Stella. Not, well, maybe she started out with poverty or running around D.C. like Jackie and Tipper. No, I think she was, I don't know what, photographer. Your best friend was iced by somebody I can't believe in all of those miles. Nobody, and especially with a layover in California. You should be doing that. Oh, don't. It's not even on your radar. It's disgusting. You've made how much? And the big story is, your billboard in this country, where are those same songs in England? Phil Collins would have no career. They listen to music that is more reflective to their problems. Don't make me go get my little music folder. I will. What? Hold on. It'll be a bad thing if I fall. Truly. Was that first colored Washington Post? It was a baseball game. Oh, colorization means everything. Ted Turner colorized Shirley Temple. I heard she didn't get paid a dime. No different than my expandable. These are great. And then they stopped coming. Yeah. Excuse me, I have no cough drops. You're just going to have to deal with it. LBJ Urban Problems 1966 Executive Order 11297. I don't replay messages either. Don't worry about it. Everything I've ever written is one draft. I don't do two. Music, social work songs. Oh, there's so many in England. We'll get through it. Mariah Carey explains her songs, just like SEALE explained what was meant by the photograph of Newton sitting in that big thing, the chair. SEALE and Newton explain the guy who has a townhouse, white man ballad, had a townhouse in Harlem. And Amy Klobuchar at the Trump second inauguration, she will say another song of his, oh, Shelter from the Storm. You're lucky I can't remember your name. You're still alive. That's too bad. Well, I don't want to lose this because it's way more important. It's English. No, don't. I will be looking for something else, and I am in the London Times. That London Times filing cabinet with the Washington Post and SUNY Purchase, it was going to, there's no more room. What is the International Herald Tribune? 2 minutes on this fuck-ass Amazon Bezos and his wife, too, of stupidity. A Los Angeles reporter, can she be any dumber? Woo! It fell. Really now. She gets on Kelly, who is, but at least she said there is a special school for special education. Her son had dyslexia. Is that more economical? It sounds that way to me. An entire school instead of just one room. Not only did England have education inside the house because of the IRA, social work news. April the 30th, 2022. Top 10 songs about social work. Vince Pert. It is bank holiday weekend in England. Do you know that Regis and Kathy Lee went live to England, 22 years ago? The weather is looking glorious in my corner of the country. Life is good. As such, I thought I would take a break from my usual reflective and educational pieces and write something. Oh, don't. If you think you should have merged in 95, the way I'm going to go about this, I want all of your mission statements for your nonprofit. I know the one I want to make my nonprofit, I need a board of 6 people. I'm not ready for my mission statement. If I wrote my mission statement 2 weeks ago, it would be very different now, wouldn't it? That's how I tackle things. You understand? And the United States of America, similar to accepting psychologists' grants, we're giving you the money and we don't care what you're doing with it, Mr. Ensley. You should care. And write something a little more lighthearted to start the weekend off. So here are my top 10 songs about social work. I want that royal stamp. That's $11 an hour. I am one of the highest paid coworkers in the country. We didn't dabble this as a test in front of Sophia. A 401k, an HMO, $50 matching benefits from California. 401k laws changed to borrow for education. The payment of a tuition, the repayment in 3 months out of my salary. I want that royal stamp. You are not gonna, it ain't happening. Initially, when I was little, I said, oh, I see. This gothic, they want to sell black nail polish, and they want to put eyeliner on boys. That's it. They just want to sell makeup. And the earring, oh, they just want to sell, oh, with all these black people, oh, it's getting, they want to make that black girl jealous. He won't give her his stud. It ain't cubic zirconium. Number 10, dangerous toys, here comes trouble. Didn't go to school and I never been in church. These social workers got me pinned up as the worst. I've always been a thief. Crime is my game. You raise these people like, oh yes, he does. And then he sent them to New York City. Crime is my... I did nothing in the New York Public Library, a state where I pay taxes. And I'm asked to leave because of that English boy without a jacket on? Maybe that day I didn't have on my $2,000 Coco Chanel boots. Sure, call the police. They know my name. This 1989 Ode to Antisocial Behavior from Texas Hair Rockers Dangerous Toys focuses on the activities of a young man who is notorious to locals. Is that like Milton Eisenhower's investigation into violence concerning Philadelphia, ongoing study instead of longitudinal? So your Will Smith and your Bill Cosby may come from the same community, Bill more than Will, but it doesn't matter because in your Fresh Prince pink and green alpha ladies, that is your colors of soror. Did not Wanda pledge at 50? I think that's what she said. What's the matter? You lose your identity, Wanda? Number 9, Elton John, Dirty Little Girl. Here's my own belief about all the dirty girls that have you to clean the oyster to find the pearl. And like the rags that belong to you, I belong to myself. So don't show up around here till your social workers help. Is that, if it's you, Elton John, is that like your identity problem? Have you solved that, Kiki Gee, man, woman? No one's paying for your slum property. All of you that may have bought property in New York City, including soap opera stars in the East Village. That's Delia from Ryan's Hope, and then on General House. That's that. Does she own that? What's going on in there? What's going to be? You don't bother me. You're NYU. You are around drug. Madonna has come from Michigan to dance underground. I don't care about you. I gave you the Southeast Slum Clearance Project. These typesetters to make a line, to make a curb like a staple. You had to go to a typesetter to make a curb. Not with PageMaker 5.0 or maybe even McWrite, and I don't care at this time. Because your Hewlett-Packard, it was filling up something. There was 173. You waste my time too many times, and I'm no rush. Trust me. You don't bother me. First of all, I had you as tenants. I own the house. You are studying to be doctors in this country. Did I turn off your hot water? Did I say no electricity for 3 days just because? Did I inconvenience your studying at New York Medical College as doctor wannabes? What did you do? You broke a lease. Oh, it wasn't really a lease. Ah, there you go. One song. Although a sign of more oppressive times with its pleas for a social worker to help a dirty little girl, is that like my tar baby, Toni Morrison? Who needs someone to grab that bitch by the ears? This song makes it into my top 10 by virtue of being Elton John. Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road. Is that my Tuskegee bricks? The recipe? Where did he sell those bricks? Why did the Wiz keep the original silver shoes as opposed to the red ones? Is that a little Smithsonian tag? Maria McKee, this property is condemned. I want that stamp. I got a new tiara, Daddy. Takes me to the Mardi Gras. Buy me cotton candy. Dress me up in flowers. Let me be your baby doll. We can ditch that social worker in and out of that swinging doors of the Tikupolis. I think it's Greek. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. T. Choppy Tulas Street. You may call me jailbait, but I ain't too little to take the heat. Before shooting to worldwide fame was Show Me Heaven from the Days of Thunder soundtrack in 1990, Maria McKee was a writer penning Fergal Sharkey's 1985 hit, A Good Heart, and a country singer. Yeah, there's a lot. Let's just flip to number 1. No. I'm not losing to the English horse riders shooting the birds. Las Vegas. Is it like Glasnost? Las Vegas. Geraldine. I will turn your tide. Do all that I can to heal you inside. I will be the angel on your shoulder. My name is Geraldine. I'm your social worker. The lead single from the platinum singing debut album of Las Vegas. This song tops our list because it is inspired by a real social worker who quit her job to follow the band around and help sell their merchandise. I'm not the brunt of this joke. The stories behind 13 of Mariah Carey's biggest hits. You don't bother me. I stand behind everything I said. And between that Oprah and that, he marries Barbara Walters' niece. Why wouldn't he? Barbara Walters' father was in England. Little Mr. Desi Arnaz. Now, I don't care, you understand? There was a room in the Strand, that little one, bigger than Superman's. He changes. White powder shit. I didn't have money for the Reuters book. You must secure your trade of newspaper route. You buy it. Just as the beginning when he fell asleep under the tree like Rip Van Winkle. Washington Irving. Do you know that Spain has a very large Muslim population? Like, did Franco rile them up too? That was a nice little story. He fell asleep under the tree and Gabriel gave him some notes. He had to protect the route, which was to Mecca, because they wanted to kill him. All the people that went to pray. You see, oh, it's not that way today. I don't know what happened. I don't care. Don't make me go get the history book. History, Past and Present, Michael Jackson. And the Future, Book 1. Blanket. Gulf Coast of Normandy. Jackie edits the book. Jackie Onassis. Ebony and Ivory, song structure, bridge, music, chorus, Antigone. The role of the chorus in Antigone. They provide context. Just like I bought that 3 Plays of England, 50 pages in the back of the play. Providing historical context. Historical context for you, and you're destroying my government laws. What did I bring to that campus that was not law? It's all law. Everything I used in that book came from there for the most part. Watch your step. So basically, you created a field of strawberry fields. You, little Mr. McCartney, have no respect for John Lennon or his son, both of them. Now, I hear you didn't like Yoko to begin with. Do you know what is violence? Your England had more violence than New York City. And if Brooklyn had violence and they tried to say something through hip-hop, then your English ass and the rest of you sitting in that city, you should have flapped your gums. Now, that being said, I'm going. But let me see, can I get my... Oh, let's see if we can do this. What is left? Oh, look, I don't think there's very much left. Maybe it gets less once I stop. Ralph Nader, lemon laws for cars. Where are the laws for this piece of shit? When I returned in 96 and I needed the computer when I bought it in whatever, 2000, your little Microsoft of Washington State, like $25 a minute for service. You are a disgusting man, almost as bad as Amazon. You bought the paper. You could have redone the whole thing. You are a technology country. You could have redone the whole thing. You're white. Number two, you've been back from Venice. The Metropolitan redid the entire Guardi room. Venice. The little guy in the gondola, that is the Crayola face color. But he has no real face. That's 14 Guardis. In the chamber, who are those little leprechaun men? Why is that curtain this big to the rest of the building? Look, there is one stone in that. I'm not going. You've already been. My job here is done. That's yellow. That's my snowsuit. Neiman Marcus, that's chartreuse. That's my grandmother's favorite color.